Hello everybody and welcome into the green room. This is what we'll be serving as my gardening space for the next couple of months or so. And today we're starting into that whole daily seeds concept. So today's seed, the first thing I want to get planted for this is basil. You know, basil's got a lot of great things going for it, but mostly I'm going to start with basil because basil is a gateway plant. It's not terribly hard to grow basil, and you know, once you've had basil fresh from the garden, you realize that store-bought basil will never do. That gets you to questioning, asking yourself, well, how many other things could I grow at home? It's the ideal place to start. Basil is a gateway plant. Alright, let's get started. So after rummaging through my seeds, and rummaging through some more seeds, and some more seeds, I found in all of this mess, I only seem to have 2 basil varieties. So, it looks like dark opal basil and standard sweet basil will be the start of things. So that's cool. Both of these do incredibly well in aquaponics, so when I have it up and running come spring, maybe summer, I'll have somewhere to clone these off and continue to have happy fresh basil. So this is what I'm using to start my seeds in. All-purpose potting soil, 6 liters, $4. I was okay with that price. Contains earthworm castings and peat moss. I wasn't entirely sure it was going to do the trick, so I have kind of tested this already with a few different varieties of peppers. I'll show you those in a second. But it seems to work well enough that I'm willing to continue buying it at $4 a bag and continue trying it until spring arrives and I can try the soil outside, which I have no idea how well it's going to grow either. But back to the basil. Well, almost back to the basil. This is my basic plan here. I've got some solo cups, I've got some smaller clear solo cups, I've got Sharpies, you know, pretty basic. Don't have my tripod, so you're just going to have to figure out how I fill it up all on your own. Now this stuff is pretty darn dry, so I get the fun of coming by every once in a while, giving it a hit with the spray bottle and, you know, hoping not to take it too far. But, so 2 cups armed and ready. Got 2 types of basil. Might as well label these things. Pretty sure I'll be able to tell purple from green when the time comes, but along the way it's nice to know. So here is a quick look at the dark opal basil seeds. Sweet basil seeds look very similar. These are just ridiculously tiny things. I mean, there's my hand. Focus. There are the seeds. Alright, that's pretty shaky, so I'm going to start planting these before I drop them in the shag. So out of these 2 types of seeds that I've got here, I'm going to say the one from PNW Seeds, Pacific Northwest Seeds, they're based out of Vernon and back in BC there. Gives the best information on the side for your basic gardener, much like myself here. Let's see, partial to full sun. Yeah, in my experience, basil will take as much sun as they've got water for. Planted at 1/4 of an inch deep, that sounds about right. Seed spacing, yeah, 1 inch apart, sounds good. Row spacing, 1.5 to 2 feet. Yeah, these things can get huge. Days to sprouting, 15 to 18. Well, we'll see about that. Days to maturity, 80 to 90. Yeah, well, it's a pretty decent list of information on the back. That's here, the dark opal basil here from PNW Fresh Seeds, based out of Vernon, BC. McKenzie Seeds, these guys are based out of Brandon, so they're like an hour away from me. Hopefully I'll get more of their seeds in the future. Should be available locally, you know what I'm saying? Alright, now I just need to water these down and cap them over. So now that all that's really left for these guys is to cover them up and put them with the others. Speaking of the others, let's take a look under the light here, see what else we've got. This Phileas Blue is a gift to me from a friend I used to work with at the Art Naps in Penticton. Still haven't transplanted this thing, but look, little tiny pepper starts. So I really need to get on that, or get those off. Probably both, we'll see. There are the basils in the back there. Got some chives. Started these a little while ago. Not really seeing anything going on there. Waiting is. And we've got these 3 onions from the mini ponics. Just kind of plunked them straight into some dirt. They're on their way, obviously too tall for cups. And I've got a loofah started. And a weed, apparently. I'll have to pull that. I had these in the cups, but then they started growing roots closer to the seed leaves. There were 4 in here. 1 remains. So, no more cup. And here's hoping for that loofah. And up back here, got some orange habaneros. Turns out I got like 3 packs of these pepper seeds, so I just dumped a ton of them in there. We'll see how many of those make it. I suspect I'll be doing more plantings of those. We'll see. And then, last but not least, we've got some of the red Thai peppers. Saved these seeds from just grocery store red Thais a few years back. Apparently they're still willing to sprout for me. Excellent, excellent. You may recall these from the gnome garden last year. They got huge and productive. Very exciting. Alright, well, I have no idea how long or short this particular video is going to be, but I think that's just about all I've got to say for starting basil. If you've got any information regarding growing basil, good experiences, bad experiences, whatever, just throw them down below in the comments and share with everybody else. It's all about growing the, growing the gardens and growing the communities. So, thanks for sticking around, everybody. This has been today's Seeds, Basil, and I will see you next time. All right.